Thank you. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste to all distinguished guests, stalwarts sitting here, and dream merchants. So, namaste to all the dream merchants who are present here. I take immense pleasure in introducing Shri Sukanda Das, Managing Director, Oxford University Press, India. Shri Sukanda Das serves as the Managing Director of Oxford University Press in India with regional responsibilities extending to Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, and UAE. He joined Oxford University Press in February 2025 and is spearheading OUP's strategic expansion and growth across India to drive OUP's comprehensive portfolio, which encompasses school education, higher education, academic programs, English language teaching, blended learning, and dictionaries. Sukanta sir brings over 2 decades of diverse experience in commercial and consumer sectors, spanning large corporations and startup ventures in India. Before joining OUP, Sukanta Das held a prominent leadership role at Vodafone India, where he led the largest cluster in Gujarat as business head. His career journey includes key leadership positions with renowned organizations in India, such as ITC, Eveready, Seat, and Vodafone, and Firefox Bikes also. An accomplished professional, Sukanta sir is an alumnus of Calcutta University, the New Delhi Institute of Management, and IIM Ahmedabad. Welcome you, sir. Eager to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We extend a warm welcome to Mr. Sugandha Das onto the stage.
Vanakkam, Namaskar, and good afternoon. Let me start by first of all expressing my deep gratitude to every single educator, principal who's here. Thank you everyone for your relentless effort in building our nation, for your service to the country. A big round of applause to all the principals, educators, teachers who are here today. I'm also deeply thankful for the Chennai Sahodaya complex today here and all the office bearers for allowing us to be part of this program. It's an August gathering. We have heard many of the speakers earlier here and we were inspired. They spoke about the need for compassion. They spoke about the need for ethics and character building and also understanding our children who are representing Gen Z and the Alpha generation that all of you are today teaching. My name is Shukanto and I represent the Oxford University Press in India, and I'm here today to help you understand how Oxford University Press through the years has been partnering, becoming a knowledge partner to all our educators who are here. So let me start by trying to introduce us once again. Who are we? We are a department of the Oxford University Press. We further the Oxford University Press's objective of excellence in research, scholarship, and education by publishing worldwide. Our legacy goes for about 500 years. It's phenomenal. We are publishing for publishing in about 167 countries in 86 languages, and we are impacting 58 million learners across the world. But our legacy is not what defines us. What we are doing today, How we are part of the India story is what makes us relevant to all of you. In India, we have been publishing for 113 years as your knowledge partner. We publish in 13 plus languages. We reach out to 12 million learners with our learning resources and books, along with all of you. And we impact about 2 lakh plus teachers across the country in CBSE schools. And the image that we have put across here, so as I said, our past doesn't define us. We continue to reinvent ourselves. Here on the screen you see the Tamil English dictionary we have recently launched. We continue to work on such initiatives. A round of applause for that. Okay, so how are we relevant in India? What are we doing? We are leading the curriculum transformation in India, and all of you who are at the forefront of this, you understand that India is going through a transformative journey when it comes to our education. With the new curriculum framework, the NEP, a lot of changes have already occurred in the way we go about teaching, the way our curriculum looks like today. Oxford University Press has been the first to align its books and learning resources as to NEP and NCF. We have been one of the pioneers in terms of, in fact, the first to bring in competency-based learning modules, which are ahead of the curve, launched first in India, and which are helping in terms of shaping the face of education going forward. All our books, our learning resources, build in 21st century skills, which are essentially life skills. Not only learning, it takes you to how to manage your life. We are continuously building artificial intelligence and digital literacy in all our curriculum books, and also enabling all of this learning in terms of improving learner impact by giving you effective tools on our assessment platforms. How do we go about doing all of this? I spoke about we bring in global understanding, we bring in the best practices globally. So we are one of those publishers, institutions, which invest heavily on research. So all our learning resources, our pedagogical skills, or our pedagogical advancements are driven by research which are on education back. So here today I'm just presenting one of the researches that we do, which is possibly very close to your thought lines, which is how does AI, artificial intelligence or generative AI is influencing academics and is going to influence education going forward. So what are some of the learnings that we have got out of this worldwide research that we have done? First, that AI is already here, and all of you possibly understand students are actively using ChatGPT and tools like that in terms of being able to generate knowledge and enhance their learnings. Digital works, 63% of the teachers see improved outcomes from digital tools. So the teachers have already understood this change event which is happening in the classrooms and beyond that. Teachers are also wanting, there has to be responsible use of AI. Both teachers and parents understand this, and the need would be for all publishing houses and learning resources providers to ensure responsible use of generative AI for enhancement of knowledge. And finally, teachers need support. 49% feel that they are not prepared to be able to deal with this new changing education platforms, and that was formed the bedrock of everything that we are doing in our learning resources at OUP. I'll pick up from here, from this learning, what have we been doing in terms of artificial intelligence and our vision, what has been our future fit learning tools or future fit learning resources that we are bringing about. What we understand is that personalized learning is going to move our interaction in the class to a different level. From one to many to one to one is what AI is going to help. From adapted textbooks, conversational AI tutors, personalized assessments is the things to be looking forward to. Empowering teachers, making their mundane tasks easier. For example, generating workbooks or generating worksheets, but generating question papers. Some of the mundane tasks are going to move to AI. These are some of the things that we are realizing is going to be changing going forward. Customer experience in terms of report cards, in terms of assessments, will be delivered by GenAI, and our product developments will see a lot of content creation, accessible content and data analytic insights, which will be helped by generative AI and AI tools going forward. We have already created a resource called Teachematic, which is going to be changing the way. We have already launched it in a few countries, and we are soon going to see that coming into India once we adapt it to the Indian conditions. So this is to share with you how we are taking the learnings from our research back audits that we are doing to product creation, which enable teachers and students both in the classrooms and beyond. Okay, over from there on to let's have an understanding of what exactly, and I found it's the right forum to share with you what are educators, principals, and teachers across the country in India today thinking. We do a lot of research around that, and I've just tried to bring together 4 or 5 points which we see as shaping thoughts of educators and principals across the country. The first is they are all looking for well-researched resources which are backed by strong pedagogy. This, of course, with the learning partners from the publishers, this is what they're looking at. And OUP, as you are aware, continuously delivers resources that combine competency-based learnings through blended learnings, experiential approaches, and communicative language teaching. All our books carry forward that. The next thing that the educators are looking at is deep understanding for learners. Moving on from surface-based learning to deeper understandings, curriculum that spark curiosity. Many of the speakers here before me have spoken about how curiosity can drive knowledge and understanding. So that's what we look to do in all our books and all the learning resources. Educators are looking at unique human skills. How do we survive? Education has to be about learning human skills. How do we kind of develop ourselves and be able to manage the world around us? All our books continuously look at developing digital literacy, skills that can make you relevant today and for the future. For example, we have forged relationships with industry leaders like Adobe, like CodeChef to bring in AI, to bring in coding understanding all the way from class 3 onwards, which are all graded and are age appropriate so that the learning is gradual and they're able to enjoy what they're learning and become future fit. Educators are also looking at assessment tools. It has gone beyond just being able to communicate or just being able to deliver the knowledge in classes. The educators, principals, and the boards are looking at what is the learner impact, what are the learner outcomes which are coming across, and this is where assessments are becoming popular and the need of the hour. OUP has been, over the last few years, already developed multiple tools which are embedded in our blended learning curriculums. They are also embedded in our print books, which account for holistic progress cards and give assessments about the learner impact. So I've just taken a few examples. One of our key curriculums, which is a path-breaking curriculum, is Oxford Inspire, which delivers competency-based learning. And here we are expressing how the journey path is in terms of the competency-based learning, assessments, and then remediations for a greater learner outcome. I would also like to share with you one snippet of this curriculum, which is Oxford Inspire. I hope this works, hope the sound works. Here, we have a tool called Speech Buddy, which essentially assesses the communicative skill of a child and is able to give a holistic report card in terms of where the communication skill is, what's the level at which, and also tells us what to improve upon. I'm sorry. Can somebody play this on? This should. Yeah, it's not done. Yeah. Just play that, yeah.
and allows us to measure the fluency as well as the pronunciation of the child when they read the sample text. Let us start by listening to the sample text given here.
A chef cooks delicious food.
It is important to note that the analysis happens independent of the accent of the child because it is happening at the phoneme level. I will now record myself reading the sample text. A chef cooks delicious food. I deliberately mispronounced the last word so that we can see it in the report. I'm going to submit this now.
Very good.
As you can see, each of the words I pronounced are being rated from excellent to omitted. In this case, I
That's all.
mispronounced food as
Thank
food.
you. So I've
So this
just
is
given a
rated
small
as
demonstration
average.
of this
Every
particular
other word
tool.
is rated
You can see
excellent.
the teacher is right
I
now
get a
pronounced
separate score
a
on
small sentence,
pronunciation
and the tool
fluency.
is able to give you
My
an
pronunciation
exact
score is
assessment
80,
of
and
where,
the ideal
what is the
score,
fluency
as it
level.
says,
For the
45
paucity
and
of
above.
time, I'll not be able to take you deeper into it,
Similarly,
but it is
my
giving you a
fluency
holistic report card, and the tool will also have remediations planned in it
score is
to be able to kind of
166 words
improve
per minute.
upon this learning. So that's all that I wanted to share with all of you from what OUP is doing as a knowledge
Hi.
partner with all for all the CBSE schools. And I'll just take a couple of more minutes to do a few launches, 3 books that we would want to launch today. And I would request all the office bearers of today here to be on the stage with us for a launch of a couple of books, please. And I would also like to request my colleagues Malika Ghosh, the head of products at OUP, and Satyendra, who is the head of the South Zone, to be on the stage along with us, along with the office bearers of the Chennai Sahodaya to be on stage, please.
We request the chairperson also to be on the stage to collect the launch books. Next. We now proceed to the next session. To take the segment forward, we have with us Ms. Poonam Singh Jamwal, Chief Business Officer, Extra Marks Education. We now call upon Sri Govindarajan, Chairperson, Chengalpattu Zone and the Principal of Vidyasagar Global School, to introduce the speaker to the August gathering.
We now invite Mrs. Vijayalakshmi, Principal of Bhaktavachalam, to felicitate our esteemed guest as a gesture of honor and appreciation. Yeah, it's already introduced. Already introduced. We are waiting.
Happy afternoon. I'm delighted to introduce the Director Extra Marks Education, Ms. Poonam Singh Jamwal. Has always believed in inclusive, initiative, and holistic tech-enabled learning solutions, tackling the young learners' curiosity with an immersive approach, measured outcomes, and supporting continued learning from school to home in dynamic scenarios has been her passion. Her role in building Extra Marks stands pivotal as a facilitator to every stakeholder with scalable models that hold no boundaries and impact individual lives. Ms. Poonam has served the Times of India, leading newspaper in education. Under her leadership, TOI witnessed a reader-based shift as she paved way for youth niche audience. She later was managing editor for the Global Times before joining Extra Marks Education in 2007. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. A humble request to all the speakers. We would appreciate if you could share your views in a 10-minute presentation. Thank you.
I would love some enthusiasm because I would like to share my journey with you. Last night I was at a wedding that got over at 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock I left for the airport. I took a 6 o'clock flight to come and speak to you for 5 minutes. And I'm going back by the 4 o'clock flight. So, who stands before you is not the title, that is the Chief Business Officer. What stands before you is a dedication of 18 years when nobody knew. They say that no heights by great men reached and kept were not attained in a sudden flight. They, when their companions slept, were toiling through the night. I guess Longfellow. All edtech innovators are mad people because when they are creating solutions for the schools, schools don't care. But they are listening and they're creating solutions. And if at all anything we have achieved over these years is to make all your wishes come true. And that is only possible if you have yourself been a teacher, if you have yourself been in the reality of a classroom. So I did begin as a teacher. And it began when I finished my college and I was planning to fly out to UK for my post-graduation. We had 4-month gap. And I went and taught in Presentation Convent, and my head was full of how the classrooms should be taught, and there should be conversations, there should be point of views. And every day I would go and teach history. I was class grade 8. And I would give them scenarios, and I would bring Amar Chitra Kathas in the classroom. And we would recreate everything where history was concerned. Children loved my class, this I can say. But I used to give a lot of assignments because I wanted to see how they thought. And after some time in those 4 months, we did not have lunch or dinner any longer in my house. Can you tell me why? For the simple reason that I would carry 60 notebooks home, and my table were full of notebooks for all the assignments that I was giving so excitedly, I had to check them. And that checking process made me grow up. And suddenly, which seemed such a thing that teachers don't know how to teach, and I know a better way to teach, I came down to Mother Earth. And I have a huge, huge respect. I decided not to go for my post-graduation. I deferred it by 2 years. I went and joined B.Ed. I just got hooked. And I kept finding ways of adding new dimensions to the classroom. It began with the Times of India, when I created newspaper and education program and said that the current referencing to learning is very important because relevance is the only thing that makes us engage in the content in the classroom. But the 18 years of extra marks have been towards giving you a companion for you to be able to teach better. But today, the whole scenario of EdTech as a teaching aid has changed to EdTech environment of a connected world, wherein your wish is that when I have yet to meet a teacher, ever, who does not want every child to remember what she taught in the class. No teacher is there who doesn't want every child to excel. But there is a physicality to it. So the only big thing that EdTech has done is, I am getting disturbed, okay? I just want a wee bit of respect for time. That will be a good thing to do. Because I want to tell you one small story. You have a beach in Mahabali. There's a beach here, Yeah. So my father was in Air Force and he came to train here. And he said one day I was walking on this beach and there was a guy making a wax sketch with his nail. And I went to him and I said, okay, sketch my picture. And how much is it? He said 5 rupees. That time 5 rupees was 500 perhaps. And they got their face sketched beautifully. And then he asked for 5 rupees. And these guys barely had 5 rupees for the whole week in their pocket. And they said, you're looting us. So you made this whole picture in 5 minutes and now you're asking us for 5 rupees. He said, no, this is not 5 rupees. This is 30 years and 5 minutes that I've taken. So what I'm standing here is 30 minutes and 5 minutes. Here, 30 years and 5 minutes. So I would really want to have a conversation with you. What we have learned, how many of you have smart classes? All of you. Now, smart class today has become furniture. The glamour of a board has changed because ultimately the heart of everything is the pedagogical hierarchy creating in the learning content. There's no more the glamour in animated content, but how you teach in the classroom, which is important. So this journey happened in 10 years. And today, extra marks, our endeavor, is in 28 states, 15,000 schools, and almost 10 million children, not only in India, but in Indonesia, Middle East, and South Africa. And everything is 100% made in India, because in the last 18 years, we used only one rule. That rule was of listening. And the second rule was, I give my heart to the child. If you keep the child to the center of your universe, as any teacher or edtech developer or a publisher, you cannot go wrong. But you have to tie in the reality of the classroom. That is, you have 40 minutes, you have 40 children, and you have to teach them everything: compassion, care, ethics, subject, application, everything. So which is one thing that you don't have? You have knowledge, you have good intention, you have wisdom. Gen Z is changing and not understanding your language. But what is one fact that you don't have which is causing all the problem? Anyone? Time. It is all about time. So whatever has been taking 80% of your time in the classroom, that is transferring of knowledge, has to reduce to 5% so that you have enough time for engagement and discussion. And that is where LMSs come in. When you tie in all the children, parents onto the LMS, which is AI driven, the child will get timely interventions which you cannot give. And you will truly, truly make a child a self-learner. All of you remember, we all are best known as textbook bred generation who's trying to teach the natives of technology, right? And in this struggle of doing so, we do not realize that our children have already become self-learners. They come into the class already knowing what is going to be taught in the class. And therefore, they are not present when you are in the class. So the real thing that we have to apply today is to flip a class. All that 80% conceptual knowledge transfer has to go into the hand of the child as a self-learning tool, and he should come into the classroom for questions. He should come into the classroom with questions to you. A second point is, you need to jump into the sea, which has got technology. Because without that, we keep saying Gen Z doesn't understand us, and we have to pull them into our world. If we get into their world, we will have one biggest contribution into that world. And can you tell me what? If we jump into the young people's world today through technology, what is it that we bring on the table to them? Not the concept, not the challenges, even of a challenging question, because ChatGPT will give you beautiful questions. But one thing all of you will transfer into that world is wisdom. And this is the biggest loss this society is going to have with technology coming, is we are going to be on the sidelines while they find their way around. And societies and human race can only transition into the new world if old wisdom walks into the new world, walks beside them and shows them the way of how to be human. They know what they want in terms of knowledge, success, and they're chasing it. Speak their language. What, Gopinath spoke so beautifully today, and I do not understand the language completely, and I understood every element of what he spoke about today. We have to get into their rhythm, and we have to speak their language. To speak their language, each and every school should adopt LMS, that is lowest common denominator. On that, you can write the content by any edtech company. You can write your questions from anywhere you want to, but you have to create instantaneous interventions. When a child starts in class 1, he's so bright, he's full of one thing, which is called why. Why does this happen? And by the time he reaches 8, he gives up the why and he starts repeating what you said. So you've really not generated and curated curiosity. And I always say, view your classroom from your point of view. If all of us go back to our childhood, we will remember only 3 teachers. And those teachers have stayed with us. And I would like to ask the audience one question only. Anyone who can talk about a favorite teacher and why the teacher was favorite. Any one person. Any favorite teacher? I'm going to give you a context of that. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Any favorite teacher you remember? Yeah. So storytellers, ultimately all learning is a story. And if you contextualize it with the human life we lead, because everything in all learning, whether it is math, science, social science, English language, is this, no? If you really deeply see, and you can create that connection. And that connection comes from telling a story, also stopping to ask, what do you think about it? And if you really think, we remember only those teachers who stopped to ask you what you thought about something. So imagine that magic of those 3 teachers you bring in all your classes by actually using the tools that are with you, giving it to the child to be a self-learner, and tell the child, come into the class for the tutorial, ask me questions. And imagine this young generation would be so excited that I'm going to tell the teacher I know more than her. And they will come and ask only the hard topics in the classroom. And we will have a tutorial in the classroom where there's application, there is a transfer of ethics. Is it a right decision or not a right decision? So all your wishes that you want fulfilled and everything that you want to do, please adopt technology, explore technology, enjoy how it reveals the world to you, and join him in the excitement. And you truly will create happy classrooms. And all these decisions are through the head of the school. When it happens in the pool of 100 teachers, 2 teachers are excited about something, but rest of them just continue. I gave you that example of me telling stories in the classroom. Senior teachers came and said, you're not doing your oral test, you're setting wrong example in the school. Why are you doing this? So, but when the head of the institution decides, I'm going to equip my school and my teachers to be very comfortable and fearless with technology, automatically the environment will change. I'm concluding this with 2 thoughts with you. First of all, make technology your friend, and technology is not an interactive board. It is whatever is embedded, your philosophy that is embedded in this, you can be embedded in this. But I'm giving you a bigger idea now. When you go to ChatGPT, you get an answer. 90% this answer is generated from the Western world because they are already on the platform. And we are resisting it. Our wisdom, our knowledge, our regional know-how is not going out there. When an Indian child is looking for answers and relevance, our answers are not going because we are not adopting technology. So that's a bigger plan. You'll see that impact within 5 years of your absence from the universe. While our societal wisdom is the finest in the world. And we are not driving it because we are hesitating from using the technology. So I'm sure all of you know everything about extra marks, so I'm not going to do a product demo for you. But I'm talking about principle of use, bringing efficiency into the classroom, changing how your classroom's rhythm is without compromising exam result, without compromising getting into IIT, but just managing your time better by adopting. And the only one line I would like to tell you that to me, extra marks is Uber of education. If you can step out and get into a DTC bus or decide to call a Uber, that is the difference between your classroom and the classroom that does not truly have technology. Okay, thank you so much for your patience and time. God bless you. And anytime you want to know anything from anyone, and Extra Marks is not answering, just write a note to Poonam at Extra Marks. There's only one in Extra Marks. Okay, God bless you. Take care. And one loud applause to all of you, so that before we go for lunch, we wake up and there is a yoga session that happens. Loud applause. I'm not getting off stage at all. And I would like to congratulate and thank you that I had to wait. So I was supposed to be unhappy, but I'm very happy because I heard such mix of brilliant people today. So thank you, sir, for inviting me here and for everybody's patience. Hoping to be in every classroom. Call me whenever you want. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Your thoughts on reimagining curriculum and assessment through EdTech have provided a clear and practical direction for shaping the schools of tomorrow. I invite Mrs. Chandrika Prasad, Principal, RMK Pathshala, to do the honors.
As we proceed to the next session, we invite Mrs. Devika Dinesh, Secretary of Zone 4 South Cluster Schools and the Principal of Sunshine Senior Secondary School, to introduce Mr. Vishwanath, CEO and co-founder of Karadi Tales and Karadi Path Education Company, a pioneer in the field of education.